Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Rochelle. Today I'm going to be doing a video on Amber Heard and the Johhny Depp case. One of the things I found really fascinating, which I'm going to be doing a video on, search I did 3 hours. 3 hours of listening to this audio. I found something really interesting, so I'm going to go and start with the audio from the Australian, not because I'm Aussie, but it was really interesting. This was at the beginning of their wedding. Well, they'd just been married, so they've only been married for a short amount of time. I think it was 3 months. So what I'm going to go through is when he had his finger cut off and some audio. So I'm going to play that to you guys and then give my opinion. And then I want to go to Dr. Curry, which I just found really interesting. Her analogy of her histrionic and borderline personality disorder. So I hope you guys join me. I'm new to the psychology and true crime YouTube. This is my first video, so I hope you guys really get into it the way I love doing this. I do it on my own time, and now I'm doing it as something I just love doing because I want to contribute and become a part of the community. So I hope that you enjoy everything I've learned, and let's get straight into it. I hate intros. Let's go.
And she seems to be happy if Ben travels with her. Now, she's also saying to me, if I stay here, do I promise that I'll keep her up to date in what's happening to him? And I said I would. She's still upstairs, she hasn't come down yet. We think she might be sleeping. Now, my question is to you, are you happy for that to happen? I don't care either way. I'm happy to travel to LA and drop her off. Christine, I'll be honest with you. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. No, I'm saying Amber, she does. She's not a fool. Yes.
One of Johnny's bodyguards, I'm pretty sure he's the head. I'm the one that's in control of everything that's going on. So he's trying to de-escalate. In some parts of it, Amber's going crazy in the background. One of the interesting things I seen in this was that he talks about getting someone strong. So we need someone strong in case she kicks off. Why? That's what I found interesting. And he talks about getting her another hotel room, put it in my name, I don't care, we need to separate these two. If you look at all the testimony, especially from Johhny, yeah, he's kind of, I know this, I'm not defending, I don't believe in domestic violence on each end, but you're looking at her personality disorder and she's very much the pusher. Like, and I don't mean in that way, you can bring out personality traits in other people, which I'll explain later in the video. But if the head of security has gotten to know her, because they're with Johhny all the time, they travel everywhere with them, they're in the car, they don't let them drive alone, they're constantly with them. So, and he sounds like he's the one in charge. So he's trying to work out, get Johhny to the hospital, get her away, we need to get her back to LA, we need to de-escalate, we need to get her away from him. And like I said, the interesting thing was he said, we need someone strong if she kicks off. What does her kicking off mean? That's what I found interesting, because they must have witnessed a fair bit of this behavior. Now the next bit I get into, which is really kind of cool, and it's like hours of audio I've been listening to. I think my partner has thought I've disappeared into my little cave. But that's me when I get on a little tangent. I love finding the pieces to the puzzle. And I think that's why I study psychology, is because, and true crime, it's just, why is that? But if you look at this and you look at that, have a look at this next bit that I'm about to show you guys.
She admits to me, she threw a bomb. First, she admits to me that I said to her, she says, I'm supposed to be in my temple. He's shouting out, screaming out. That's strange. seen those stretches before, but it's hold on, it's just self-inflicted. I'm convinced about it, it's self-inflicted. At the moment, I'm limited with the devil, regardless later down.
Alright, so when in this bit, which I found really interesting, was Jerry was talking to the team to try and work out, like, to get Johhny to the hospital, her out of, out of the way, away from Johhny, going back to LA. And this is when he was talking to, I think it says Christy, and he says, she knows exactly what she's doing. I'm saying Amber, she does. She's not a fool. His team started to see it, and even when you listen to the daughter, his mates, everyone before the wedding, she was rushing it. The daughter didn't go to the wedding. The children were just not in, everybody knew, and even at the end, at the trial, Johhny says, my children were smarter than me, they knew before I did. So and this is the thing about histrionic, which I'm going to go into in a minute, it's almost like the charming thing they do. They charm people at the beginning of a relationship. It sounds very much like she's very into manipulating and mimicking. So they mimic the partner's behavior. So at the very beginning, they'll listen intently to all your likes, your dislikes, and they create a character that they know you're going to be drawn to. And histrionic personality disorder, especially that component, not just being borderline, but being histrionic as well as borderline, shows that she uses her looks and her seduction.
Inappropriate, sexually seductive, or provocative behavior, rapidly shifting and shallow emotions, using one's physical appearance to draw attention, an excessively impressionistic style of speech that tends to lack detail, an exaggerated expression of emotions, being theatrical, being suggestible, and regarding relationships as more intimate than they really are. Moving over to borderline personality disorder.
Personality disorder is their fear of being left. So throughout this whole audio, she mentions, and it's in her own words, I don't want to leave him. I don't want him to leave me. And it's that desperation. Normally they do say it comes from like a childhood trauma or an event where you haven't healed an emotional trauma. That builds into that borderline and that histrionic. So, but it is also like with histrionic, which I'll go into later, before the end of the video, I want to explain like the disorder itself, and the symptoms and all that kind of stuff. But something I noticed is she is very desperate to be wanted. Anyway, I'm gonna finish with this next bit and then continue.
Having an unstable relationship cycle. This is a cycle of idealization and devaluation, identity disturbance, impulsivity, suicidal behavior, affective instability, a feeling of emptiness, constant anger, and paranoid ideation or dissociative symptoms. So when looking at the similarities between these two disorders, we can see there are quite a few. They share, in many cases, the rapidly shifting emotions, the strong emotional expressions, the attention-seeking behavior, impulsivity, and the tendency to be manipulative. Characteristics we would expect to see with borderline personality disorder in many cases, but not see with histrionic, would include the anger, the feelings of emptiness, the self-destructive component, and the identity disturbance. Components we would expect to see with histrionic personality disorder and not often see with borderline personality disorder would include being suggestible, that impressionistic style of speech, and the inappropriate, sexually seductive, and provocative behavior.
Their seductiveness, their looks, to lure them in to get what you want. And later on, I'm doing a video later today about the behavioural panel, which I watched today, and that delayed my filming for this one. But one of the interesting things that they said was with histrionic personality disorder, She mimicked this behavior of, which isn't actually linked to histrionic or borderline, but it's a childhood trait where she'd lick her lip and bite her lip and like, before she admitted to the behavior. So the incident, that would have been when she was a kid and she knew she was in trouble. That was a previous way of showing the people around her in her environment for her to get away with it. And when Johnny's parents, Amber's parents were messaging Johhny, telling her about the lawyers and please don't tell her. So even the family is frightened of Amber because she's got them under her control and under her spell, and she uses things against them, which is a big indicator of someone that's making up the allegations. This is the thing I really don't like about her, and the more I sort of discover, the more I find it difficult to believe her, especially when you look at her personality disorder, which it's not just the court psychologist, Dr. Curry, that is convinced that she has borderline. It's previous, she went through all her case notes, so it's before this even happened, she's gone through any kind of psychologist that has case notes on her, has used them in this case. So she's done hours of research, like I mean hours. She's gone through all her case notes from, like, you could go through all her GP notes if you wanted to. You can subpoena them, especially when you're going through court. And that's what I believe they've done. And that's why I actually found Dr. Curry so interesting, because she had this level of intelligence, because she covered all bases. And to be honest, I couldn't get into court. I'm still studying. I'm in my beginning years of psychology, and it takes about 7 to get her degree, and then you have to do a doctorate. But to be interrogated in front of a court and a jury and the lawyer, it's intimidating, and your brain kind of, to me, it would switch off. But she was very calm, very determined to get her point out in a really intelligent manner. And every time the lawyer actually said something to her, you could see she could counteract it in a way that even the lawyer didn't realize she'd answered her question and giving her the opposite answer. She was confused. But then again, it's this trial has been so funny to watch. Anyway, so in my next video, I'm going to get into the behavioral panel, which was really interesting. I love body language. So I'm going to do also one on Johhny Depp, his testimony, and a couple of other things. But I really hope you join me. Hopefully eventually I'll open up about my story, but I don't think that's the most important. I believe I will tell my story one day, but I'm going to leave it at that for now. But thank you so much for joining me. Please put a comment and let me know if you guys had listened to that audio, because I know I'm a little bit of an internet sleuth. That's why I'm doing my channel, because my partner wonders why I spend so much time on my phone listening while I'm doing stuff, to audio of 5-6 hours of stuff and watching things, and then I have my opinion and I just want to get it out. But no, I love body language, and so I hope you guys can join me for my next video. Please, like I said, comment. Let me know if you've seen the Australian video. G'day, mate. But if you heard that the security knew she was calculating, and she was no fool. That was interesting. And also she talks about, it's almost like she's planned it from the beginning, and the reason that she was upset was because Johhny hadn't signed a prenup before they got married, because she was pushing it and pushing it. And then, he did that when they were in Australia, and that's what she was angry about. So I'm gonna go into the next video about the same incident, but it's covering the behavioral panel and what was really interesting about that. So I'm gonna go through that. I've got my notes. Hopefully I'm gonna have you guys continue to watch me and join my show. I'm new to YouTube, so be gentle with me. yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. That was crap. I need to get better at this, don't I? It's so hard to get in front of a camera and like pretend to talk to yourself. Just saying. Next one. Alright. That was crap. Hey guys, thank you for staying to the end. Here is a quick video just to educate you on toxic relationships and what they do. Please enjoy. Thank you.
More suspicious of others. You're afraid that getting close to people will open you up to hurt, so you guard your feelings with a wall. Ironically, you might end up getting hurt because you find it hard to trust anyone. 2. Toxic relationships breed negativity. How happy do you feel in your relationship? It's hard to be happy when you're in a toxic relationship, feeling like there's a dark rain cloud following you wherever you go. You're constantly feeling down or in a bad mood because negative emotions can be contagious and may rub off on you. 3. Toxic relationships make you more pessimistic. If only we could employ out of sight, out of mind to toxicity. Too bad we can't. Toxic relationships can alter your views in life even after they've ended. You used to be optimistic and joyful, but now you've become anxious, fearful, and cynical. This makes you more distant from those around you. 4. Toxic relationships emotionally exhaust you. Do you feel like you've climbed a mountain, but all you did was spend time with someone? Emotional drainage happens in toxic relationships because so much time and energy is spent catering to the other person at your expense. You feel anxious and stressed out whenever you spend time with this person because they might be narcissistic, overly critical of you, or they make everything all about them. Just being in the same room with them is exhausting. 5. Toxic relationships destroy your self-esteem. Our relationships with others and the way they treat us provides an important foundation for our self-image. So when you're in a toxic relationship with someone who doesn't care about you, it's hard not to feel bad about yourself. You're constantly denied the love, support, and reassurance you deserve. You lose confidence, stop believing in yourself, and struggle to feel a sense of self-worth when you're in a toxic relationship. 6. Toxic relationships hinder your personal growth. Do you have a hard time answering questions like, who are you as a person? And this is because you may not have a concrete sense of yourself. And when one person constantly tries to control and dominate you, they wear you down until you figure you're not worthy of getting what you want. And this makes you believe that you need them and are nothing without them. So you never think or form anything for yourself. 7. Toxic relationships distort your idea of a healthy relationship. One of the most damaging effects of a toxic relationship is convincing you that you deserve it. Being mistreated and taken advantage of by someone you cared so much about distorts your idea of what a relationship should be like. This results in you seeking similarly harmful and dysfunctional relationships. Over time, this harmful setting is normalized, and you find it hard to recognize when a happy, healthy relationship comes along. And 8. Toxic relationships negatively affect your entire health. Are you getting sick more often? Do headaches occur more often? These are physical signs of toxic relationships. Studies show that given the stress and anxiety experienced, toxic relationships often result in a greater risk of serious health factors such as weakened immune system, higher blood pressure, and even heart problems. There are also common reports of low energy and fatigue. Sometimes, even when we recognize the signs, we simply feel too emotionally invested to leave the toxic relationship. However, the toll on you for staying is very steep and may cause long-lasting scars. Do you see any of these effects on yourself or others? Are you working on undoing the damage of any of these? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video.